What in tarnation? I meant to do that.
Howdy folks, this is Applegeek, and boy, it has been quite a while since I've uploaded any new videos. I am distinctly aware of this fact. Just needed, honestly, a break for myself for things for a while here, and there hasn't been a whole lot of stuff to react to. Obviously, there's the, there's this, and there's some clip shows and stuff for FIM that I am going to get to. So I'm back to do a few of these things now. But anyway, equally long, or we've been waiting even longer for this new episode of Remembrance, and just a note to all of you, and to Ashley H especially, I do understand you've had a lot going on in your life. You've had dealt with issues like loss of data files, issues like loss of volunteer cast members that you've had to find replacements for, and things like that. And it sounds like it's been quite an ordeal for you to keep this project alive and continue it. So I appreciate your perseverance on that for sure. So I'm assuming we'll get a little bit of a recap in here. I think from what I remember, it's been so long since I've watched these myself. I know the last episode was all about how Celestia ended up becoming the one who became corrupted by the nightmare, or nightmares. I guess there's multiple ones of them. And Luna, Cadence, and Flurryheart all lost their powers due to Nightmare Star, evil Celestia taking them away. So not sure what's going to happen there. And Twilight has returned from her little trip to the past, and presumably this is now all going to be on her, as if she wasn't in a bad enough place already. Now she's got this weighing on her shoulders, so not sure how that's going to play out, how Gala's going to figure into this. And I'm assuming all the unicorns lost their power too, it wasn't just the princesses. I'm not sure if we ever actually found out if that was the case or not, but all the key players are kind of disabled here. Oh, and Twilight also, if I remember correctly, has not unlocked all the elements yet. There's like one or two that she didn't get to yet. So really not sure where things are going to go from here, but things are definitely, I think, about to get interesting. So without any further ado, let's give this a watch and see where the story's going. Remembrance Episode 9, starting now.
The story of Remembrance was created before the events of Season 7 and The Royal Problem. Because of this, Celestia's evil counterpart will be named Nightmare Star.
Yep, slap the old alternate universe tag on this.
Anymore. When my friends left, so did the elements. She also said something about going back in time and finding myself, but she wouldn't explain what that meant. I found out that I can't live without you. I'm so broken without
Trixie.
you all. I want to stay here with you.
Well, you say that you will protect yourself, but the question is, who will protect her? Wouldn't it feel great to just let it go?
Could never hear that phrase the same way after Frozen. I'm sorry. I'm still not understanding either why. I don't think we ever got a clear answer on why Twilight ended up getting pushed back to the present timeline without going through the necessary ordeals to unlock the rest of the elements. So, hoping to get some answers on that soon here. We'll see.
Please bring on all the pain, and we'll go back in time. Nothing.
This animation, but what? I don't remember. Was it? I don't know if this opening was in the last episode. I think it might have been. I'm not entirely sure, but it's really cool.
Keep composed. Our roads are ever changing. Still, I know that I must go. Memory becomes clearer as I stare into the mirror. Take my worthless sorry soul. Don't you know that I give up? You smash my heart into pieces and tell me I deserve this. Take my fear and take it from
Oh, that's right. Discord was there.
Twilight, Galaxy.
Oh yeah, he lost his powers
Welcome
too.
back.
Forgot about
Did
that.
any pony recognize you?
I don't think so, Princess.
Good.
Okay.
Auntie Twy! What happened? Did you figure out how to stop this?
I'm sorry, Flurry. Zillia said that the spell she used was only a one-time thing. So, I guess there is no way to go back and restore the elements again.
Kid, why did it end early?
Can't be. Did she say anything else?
Oh yeah! She did say something about something called the Resurrect.
Right! She did. But then she stated right after
I don't remember that.
it didn't suit our needs, so it's not useful to our...
Something tells me we're going there.
That is unfortunate.
So now what are we gonna do?
Maybe
You know,
we should all get some rest.
desperate times call for desperate measures.
How can we rest when Nightmare Star is out there, terrorizing every pony?
This isn't our problem, Flurry.
Not our problem? How can you even say that? We haven't even checked the Crystal Empire. What if they are under the same pain as Ponyville is?
I already told you.
Oh,
it's
I
too
just-
dangerous for you to go all the way back to the
Just realized they're
Crystal
in
Empire.
Twilight's castle, not Camelot.
Even so,
Makes sense.
we can't just walk away. Think of our citizens, our staff in the castle. What's going to happen to Evening Rose or Pepper or any pony else that looked after us? They were our family.
Flurry, you have to stop caring for every little thing in the universe. We can't save everyone. We never can.
Oh,
Maybe they were just my family.
What did you just say, Flurry Heart?
didn't quite catch that.
Nothing. I guess I'm gonna go rest. Since that's all I can do anyways.
Oh. Ouch.
I wouldn't worry, Cadence. Flurry seems to be quite stressed with everything, and
It's fine.
I
Princess,
like that
what are we
blurry
gonna
background
do?
effect.
You must have something. You always do.
Gal,
We need you. So, what's our plan? Every pony is falling apart around here.
And Twilight's not?
it seems we need to come up with another solution before it is too late.
But why does it always have to be me? Why am I the one that always has to come up with a solution?
Because you're Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Because you're so good at it.
Vanquish more enemies than all the Equestria can count.
Galaxy has been taking
least she
your
used to be.
responsibilities while you were away for so long.
Then why can't she come up with a plan?
Because I'm not you. The best thing for Equestria right now is you.
Equestria doesn't need me, Gal. I've only ended up failing it.
What is up with you? Ever since you got back, it's like you've given up. If you give up, then we are all hopeless. Don't you understand that?
Well, maybe I don't want all of this responsibility. Did you ever think about that? You've been shoving all of this pressure on me that I don't even want. I never did.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I just want to help, but I can only do so much. I'm not you.
I'm sorry for yelling. I just need a moment.
Well, she did just
Didn't
go
mean to
through a
get
heck
so
of an
angry.
emotional
We never
ordeal.
do.
What?
I said we never do. No matter your intentions, things always fall apart.
Are you talking about you and Flurry?
I'm talking about life, Galaxy. It's better if we learn sooner than later.
Why are you telling me this?
No reason. Just forget I said anything.
What are you doing,
Why is she telling
falling apart.
Gal that? We aren't going to end up with Gal becoming a Alicorn, are we, at the end of all of this? I don't think it's necessary, and just that line makes me wonder. Twilight? Sparkle.
Walls aligned with glass, I take a breath. Sinking and swirling, but even yet, oh, I feel the matches already set. I dreamed of this day to come true, but I'd give it back if I only knew. Oh, wishes are like stains with residue. I knew, it's true that I can never live up to you.
That was so cute.
I knew, even so, should I go, say I do. My wings are all tightened, but would my heart lighten if I turned away, let my heart say, I know I'm no good anyway. I know I'm not hopeless, but why am I worthless? I know I'm not the perfect lot or who they want me to be. How do I love me? How do I love me?
Man, like every single character in this story has major self-confidence issues here.
Pacing back and forth, I've lost my worth. How can I walk on this earth? Seeing what I broke, knowing that I failed and I have hurt. Unspoken words and hurtful rhymes. I never
Being too hard on yourself, Twilight.
Till the end of time. Mom is just a lie. I don't deserve to call her mine. I knew, it's true that I could never live without you. I knew I would miss and at risk stay like this. I know I'm not homeless, but why am I soulless? If I go back, gain what I lack, could I live with the attack? My heart is all tightened, but would my soul lighten? If I let her go, brave and alone, would she then ever come home? How do I love me? How do I love me?
The elder generation too stuck in the past, and the younger generation too hopeless because of their lack of confidence.
Take a breath. Still alone in the universe, I guess. With you. Disappointment around the bend.
I'm just gonna say right now, immortality is a curse.
Well, go on. Speak.
Right, Your Majesty. Well, it seems the resistance group from the north has been disposed of, and every creature is slowly singing your praises.
Would that be the Crystal
Who
Empire?
knew overthrowing an entire matriarchal system was so much work? Anything else? What is it?
Well, it seems the town ponies are still spreading rumors about Twilight Sparkle returning. One even said they saw her in Canterlot today.
Uh-oh.
Really?
That's not good.
Turns. Certainly took long enough, right, Celestia? No matter. We are in the endgame after all.
If that is all, I'll take my leave, Your Highness.
Wait.
Yes, Your Majesty.
And what do you think about this? Princess Twilight returning?
She's part of the resistance, isn't she?
I think it's ridiculous. There is no pony more powerful and
Or at least
beautiful
sympathetic.
than you, my queen.
Good. You are exactly right in that. That was a very wonderful performance. Very believable indeed.
Oops.
But if I may give you a pointer for future reference, you really need to erase that tiny little bit of doubt in your eyes.
For future
Oh,
reference?
don't
I don't think there's going to be a future.
I'm very
for her.
disappointed as well. I really thought you would be the one. Oh well, 17th time's the charm, I suppose. Take her away.
Oh.
Wait! Your Highness, please! I would never support Twilight
Oh,
Sparkle. You
those
have to
guards,
let me
wow.
stop, please, my
And they've got magic. Okay.
What a pity. You would think for a society so built on friendship, a loyal servant wouldn't be so hard to find. The last thing I need is a rat.
Well,
Twilight
about that.
hasn't yet returned. Then I suppose it's finally time. You there! I need you to deliver a message, and only a message. Don't go joining any resistance groups or anything else, or I will have to dispose of you as well.
Does that not go without
I hope
saying?
you're ready, Twilight, because it's time to move my final piece.
Ooh. And what would that be?
Galaxy?
You okay? It got pretty heated in there.
She's always like this. She never listens to a thing I say. Every time I try to speak or go against her, I just can't. I'm so pathetic.
Hey, no you're not. Don't say that about yourself.
Then what would you call me? I don't know anything. Not about the world, not about what I should do in this kind of situation. I want to go out there and help, but I don't know how. How can I be the protector of Equestria if all I do is run away? Sounds pretty pathetic to me.
Valid point.
You are going to help. We just need to come up with a plan first.
They killed my dad, Galaxy. They took away one of the only ponies I ever loved. I can't just sit here and rest when I know that that thing is still out there. I refuse.
I understand, but
Oh,
No, you don't!
Those book
You
titles,
could
I'm gonna have to look at
never
those later.
understand something like that. I can't believe it. I'm turning into her. It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? I'm so sorry, Galaxy. You should just stay away from me.
Flurry, stop! You are not your mother.
Not yet, but just look at me. Maybe this is just who I was meant to be. An empty shell that drives every pony away.
No.
Like my mother.
But you have me.
For how long, though?
Nobody's meant to be that way.
Galaxy, I'm an alicorn. Even if I get my powers restored,
not
I
at the moment.
have to face the facts. I'm gonna have to watch you die someday. And I don't know if I can do that. You are one of the only ones that's ever understood me. After you're gone, I'll have no pony again. I'm sorry. Could I maybe have some time to myself right now?
No.
No? No.
No, I'm not going to leave you alone. You've been by yourself your whole entire life, holding everything in, afraid of letting any pony see you. I will not let you cry alone again.
Galaxy,
It's tough love.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. You don't have to try and come up with the perfect response. You can just cry, and I'll be here.
I'm just so afraid. Afraid of the future. Afraid of what I'll become. Like my mom, like Auntie Twy. I don't want to.
I know, and it's okay to be afraid. I'm afraid too. Of letting every pony down, of not fulfilling their expectations.
Yeah,
But
the
even still,
good role models are in short
we go
supply here.
on.
I understand the feeling of slipping away in doubt. Wondering if some pony like you
That's cute.
can work it all out. When I was a filly, you know, I looked to the sky and still questioned why. Why did she choose me? What good could she see in this test? The future's a mess. And someday, I know I'll be alone, that's the way. Just how the story goes, but even so, I'll cherish the ones that I know. But someday I know we'll have to part ways, but just not today. Yes, it
Man,
seems
Galaxy's got a lot of
that
heart.
this world never gives, but it takes. I remember that every time I see tears on her face. But one day when my mother said, you can think of the end with the moments instead. So one day I'll be older, the world in my shoulder, but now I won't allow. You say that you're not strong enough, but really, who's ever strong enough? So I might be a joke, and you might regret what was spoke. And the world may take everything away, but just not today. Sometimes our hearts can turn into stone, but that doesn't mean you need to be alone. The words that you keep are valid, and I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And I love you. Yes, someday, alone in the universe again. I don't know how or when, but this time we have. I will be glad to share. Yes, the world may take everything away, but just not today.
Those two sure have quite the bond. You know, I had a feeling Galaxy was going to be
Okay.
the one to
It says
find a way to
spell
give
must
the others
be
a swift
performed
kick in the rear,
place where the subjects are
so to
heard.
speak.
But that's in Canterlot.
Twilight, are you in here?
I mean, yes, I'm here, Luna. What do you need?
I was wondering if you could help me research a way to reverse everything. It seems you know your library better than I do.
Oh,
Have you met
sure.
Twilight?
Although
think I've ever come across something like that. I was afraid of that. But we have to try. I can't even consider the alternative.
It's like name a book and page number. Twilight can probably recite it from memory.
Sending her away?
It's almost ironic. I resented my sister for years on that moon for sending me there, abandoning me. And yet, I'm contemplating the very same thing.
Oh.
The universe is a cruel thing.
How would you accomplish that, though? You don't have the elements.
Even so, this is the hand we were dealt with, and we must
Hand?
bend.
What does this
So
hand
we're
you speak
counting on
of?
us to fix this. So fix it we must.
How can you have so much hope?
Because that's all I have right now. That's what I can hang on to. I have to do this. For her. I suppose, ever since we were fillies, we have been looking out for each other. We were all we had.
What do you mean?
Our parents. They passed away while we were still fillies.
Oh.
Your parents?
Did not expect
don't think
backstory
I've
like
ever
this.
heard you speak of them before.
Yes, well, Celestia doesn't really like to speak of it. It brings back unwanted memories, I suppose.
Wait,
Such
you said your
as...
parents passed away? I thought alicorns couldn't die.
Oh.
That is how our universe works, yes. We remain a constant watch on the land, protecting it for centuries. But our parents, they too experienced loss and heartbreak, watching the ones they love being pulled away from them. When Tia was born, I heard that our mother, she wept when she realized that she was an alicorn, doomed to relive the same fate as they had.
That's terrible. So, what did they do?
Everything became too much to bear, and they researched for a way to bring back their own families. And what they found was a spell.
A spell?
Although many pleaded, they used the spell. They hear that it worked, and they were able to bring back the family that they had lost. But because of that, their days were numbered. Before they passed, they told Celestia and I that we had to watch Equestria.
That's what this ties into the original Remembrance animation.
And that's what we did. What we still try to do. Before they passed, Mother wrote us a song to remember her by. A lullaby, if you will. It was like a promise to us, I suppose.
You don't recall the name of this spell, do you?
I believe it was some sort of resurrection spell. I haven't seen it for hundreds of years, though.
So,
Need to check
are
that
you
Star
going
Scroll
to
section of the
leave
library?
alone like that?
I feel as if Celestia might be. But I know deep down she loved them very much. But with me, understand, I've seen my own share of loss. And I know that this burden is great. But even so, we must carry it. I promised them I would. I'm going to start ahead of you. Feel free to join me when you are ready. We have much to do.
I'll be there in just a minute.
What? Oh. Light bulb. Is... I was thinking Twilight was gonna end up resurrecting her friends at the very end of all of this, but is she gonna try to resurrect them to help with this situation?
Looking at the craftsmanship again.
Discord.
Well, of course. I could hardly
Oh.
fall asleep. If I only
Oh,
had
boy.
my chaotic magic, then I could change it into something more presentable.
Sure. Why don't you just tell me what's really on your mind?
I don't know what you mean.
Yes, you do. How come every time I catch you staring at this chair, it looks like you are about to cry?
Oh.
Dust?
Alright, fine. If you really don't care, then I'll just tell Twilight to get rid of it.
So
It
it's
does
even
take
harder
up a
now
ton
with
of space.
after the
Wait,
series
don't!
finale we had.
I mean, it just seems like a waste.
Why? Why do you care so much?
Well,
No, why do you care, Discord? Why do you care so much?
because it's all I have left of her! It's all I have left of her.
Left of who? Discord, left of who? Say it. Say her name.
That really
No.
cuts
Why?
hard.
Why are you so afraid to talk about her? To say her name?
Because
Oh,
then it
no.
will be real. That she's really gone.
Discord
No.
gets a song.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't.
Oh, just
I can't. I
give it up, Discord.
don't. I don't recall that much about this pony that you say. Never took a passing glance. It's better that way. But if I were to think to link a visual with your words, I suppose she'd be kind. While in my mind, lunches spent, feelings meant, want me for me, chaos and all. No, wouldn't withdraw. But that's not the things I remember now. Just flashes of that day are all I'll allow. And this constant
Did not expect a
say her name.
mournful song from Discord.
The talks we never had, the Saturdays we never spent, all the places that we promised and never went. What good was this old magic if I can't just see her laugh? I hate those birds that echo her words. You said that day that we would stay, yet it seemed you lied to me. I can't be free.
You know, this is probably why Discord never got close to anyone before Fluttershy.
Not the world in which I want to live. What's the point of even trying to make those amends when my only friend came to an end, and I find that I was
I don't know about your
just
only friend being fair.
behind.
I mean,
Memories we
Spike and Big Mac?
shared are burned up like a flame while trying to just say her name. No. No. And now I'm here just full of fear, not sure what I should do to make it up to you. I can't. Remembering that night, our last goodbye. You were my only light. With it, you did fly. I always knew, alright, dear Fluttershy.
He finally said her name.
What?
But
What is that?
I don't know.
oh,
I've never seen anything like this before.
it's a journal.
What? What does it say?
It's a journal. To me. Dear Discord, I know by the time you're reading this, I won't be around anymore. I'm not even sure if you ever will read this letter. I know you try to act like you don't care, but
This music?
I can't help but notice the sadness in your eyes from time to time, knowing that our time together is slowly running out. I'm writing this letter to tell you that what's about to happen isn't your fault. It never was. I know I won't be able to keep that promise we made on that hill. But even though it was only for a short time, I'm glad to have met you. I hope it's the same for you. I hope you won't resent the world for this, and someday you find some pony else that brings back your smile. Now, I have a confession. When you weren't watching, I started to journal of our moments together, in hopes that you can always remember the memories and feelings of that day. Now, I give them to you. I hope you find happiness, Discord. I'll wish for it. Your friend, Fluttershy. I'm sorry, Fluttershy. I'm so sorry. I forgot. I forgot you.
I'm sure she knows you wouldn't ever do that.
Thank you, Galaxy. Truly. Thank you.
Again, that hits a lot harder after the series finale. For what we saw there.
It's good to see you again.
Twilight, I do admit, it's good to see you too.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not visiting for so long. I just couldn't after.
Forget it. It's in the past anyways. I can't say I blame you though. That place has become rather suffocating now.
Edens, are you okay?
No.
Are you okay?
No. Nobody here is okay.
If anyone understands, it's me. I'm sorry I couldn't visit either. It's just
I know. It's all right.
No, it wasn't that you couldn't visit, you chose not to.
What am I even doing? I'm such a mess, and I hate it. He would probably know what to do right about now.
He'd probably pull us into one of his suffocating hugs and never let go.
Twirly!
Right. He would probably be freaking out about now. I just wish I could be that strong.
But you are. You rule the Crystal Empire on your own. Train the guards, protect every pony.
What did it cost? I'm no longer the pony I once was. I'm hardly even a mother.
Cadence.
Don't try to deny it, because you know I'm right. It's just... she has his eyes. She always did, ever since she was a baby. I can't stand to look in those eyes and see the disappointment in there. Like I'm letting her down, letting him down.
You're right. It seems I do understand.
I wonder if it's better to let things be. As Earth ponies, we can live our lives and in time, finally see him again. Why must we work so hard for a universe that never gave anything back to us? Why must we be pushed back into a fate we never asked for? while every pony else can live in peace? Who decided that? Why can't we be happy also?
I don't know.
I said such terrible things to her. To Celestia during that night. I was so angry and upset, and it's my fault it's like this.
No.
I'm just poison to every pony around me, it seems.
What
Can't
happened
put
to
this all
Celestia
on yourself.
wasn't your fault, Cadence. You have to know that.
Yes.
Do I really know that, Twilight?
Twilight, listen to your own advice.
I was just finding people to blame because I never wanted to face the facts. I always knew that. Can I tell you something?
Of course.
Sometimes. I really wish Flurry would just leave. Leave the Crystal Empire and me.
Oh.
That way, she could finally be free.
Is that always how you felt, Mom?
Flurry,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was such a burden on you.
Aren't you gonna follow her?
what's the point? Things will always stay the same. It's better to leave it be. Maybe
No,
now my wish will come
it's not
true.
better.
How much longer are they going to take? I swear, they don't have any aspect of time.
Now that wasn't very nice. You did invite us after all.
Oh boy.
Now, where's the party?
I already told you 1,000,000 times. There is no party.
Aw, why not though? That's the first thing I would have done.
Ugh, and I'm annoyed with you already.
Well, look at you, all high and mighty, my queen.
You're right. Somebody's got a power complex.
No, shut up. I didn't invite you here so you can mock all the hard work I've done.
What?
Dissension in the ranks.
Following around a little princess for 30 years? Oh yeah, big accomplishment, Mariette.
I do admit, things took a bit longer than expected, but the result is the same. Look, Equestria is mine to control.
You mean ours to control?
Right. Ours. Now, let's get down to business.
It's always business with you. I just
Not
want
gonna
to
make
get
him a
my
long reference.
hooves on a little piece of misery. Come on, Mariette, let me at him.
There will be time for that. But first, you are all nothing without physical bodies to corrupt. We need to fix that.
Oh,
You see all
oh
those creatures
boy.
down there? They are the ones that mocked us, banished us. And now, we will use them to live the life we have always deserved. I've been carefully
Who are they
growing the
going to
misery and pain
possess?
within the world for months. And now, you just need to supply the bush. You think you can do that?
Well, of course. We aren't idiots.
Oh,
Plus,
please tell me they're not.
I'm pretty sure we can do it in less than 30 years.
Watch your tone. I am the ruler of this new world.
Jeez, that princess is making her ego go through the roof. I think I liked you better as that moody moon one after all.
Oh.
What about the princess? We can't have her ruining our fun.
It's not a problem. Celestia has given me complete control. I have her locked up so tight in her own mind, there's no way she can escape.
Oh boy.
And what about the other one? That Twilight Sparkle? If I remember correctly, she
thought that's
still has
who
her
they were talking about a
outward
minute ago.
powers.
She won't be a problem. I can practically feel her own misery from here. Pulling her down should be a piece of cake.
So let's go do it now, before she
Oh
gets to you.
no, are they gonna...
Easy, Cosmar. See, you don't understand the importance of time. Yes, she is practically wasting herself away, but now is not the right moment. Don't worry. Princess Twilight will not be a problem, because I can offer her something she wants most.
If you say so.
Oh no.
So when can we pounce?
Oh no.
I have a special host for you three. Let's leave the rest of Equestria to our little friends.
What?
Oh, I did not see that coming.
I can't even get a taste.
Calm yourself, Pisidilia. Your hosts will be the greatest of them all. The princesses of Equestria.
I do like the sound of that.
Oh, I was afraid of
Before
that.
that, we need an army. Did you bring them?
Of course we did. Come on out, boys.
Perfect.
Many years ago, we came into this land, wanting more, an even score, avoid a war. But what did that do us, am I right? But what didn't wait is a terrible sight. Was punishment really right? But now it seems the tables turned, and it's time to learn.
Okay. I like some good electro swing.
This is such a roundabout and complicated way, but you
Best villain song.
now you have to pay. We've got lots to do, the future coming soon, so I'll leave it to you. This misery I kept, it's time to take effect. Ooh, flashback to the day they turned away. We were welcome to stay. Ooh, looks like we just had to find a way. Let's let the world decay.
Those teeth.
Focus on me. I'll be all that they see. I'll make them scream, tear them, sing from singing, 'cause I am the queen. I am the queen. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-da.
That overconfident could be your undoing. Just saying.
There's no need to fear, your soul will disappear. Block out the sun, snuff out the moon, and the twilight will be soon. They don't stand a chance when the grief has been in hand. Ooh, oh, please don't look at me that way, for we were betrayed. Ooh, we are close to the end of this game. My name will be in flames. Focus on me, and together we'll be. No in between, a vigil, gladly clean. Now please, your queen, begin. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-da. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, I am the queen. How does it feel to watch it fall apart, with no voice and no heart? Watch as I take everything you have.
That was a cool effect.
There's no need to discuss. Yes, we have won. Now your time is done. Just praise the sun. Focus and see. We are in the hierarchy. We are in the hierarchy. Oh, your world is ours, so open those stars. Now we are the yes, I am the queen.
It's your move, Twilight Sparkle. And I can't wait to see it.
Hearts have begun to mend as we reach the final end. One more battle, one more fight to save the falling twilight.
Shine through my streaming tears. Another day is done, but still we've just begun. Will I be enough? Can I understand? Am I capable or just secondhand? And though the days go by and by, the wiser I become. The things that once held me back have dissolved with the dust. I'm reaching out to hold on to that bright ray of hope. And yes, I know it's hard, but we can move on. You're shining in this glowing twilight. I can hear the words in her mind.
Nightmare Star is way cuter there than she had any business being.
They walk beside us every day. When I'm hurting and walk alone, I'll just close my eyes and I am home.
Oh, two-part series finale coming up. Well, we've been doing an awful lot of building up of character story arcs here. Time to get to some action, whatever that's going to be, but... Yeah, this is a long watch here. I think I'm going to have to collect my thoughts and come back with a few things to say on this, so... Stay tuned, everyone. I'll be right back with my thoughts on this. Okay. So, to be perfectly honest, I'm a little bit disappointed that things seem to kind of go a bit backwards here in terms of Twilight's current state. You know, Twilight went through that whole trip down memory lane and appeared to be making some progress in restoring the elements and such, but then she got sent back home early before she finished unlocking all the elements, with no real explanation as to why, at least not that I can recall. You know, and so I'm assuming that I didn't miss something. If I did, I apologize, but I don't recall there being really ever given an explanation for why that happened. And now it seems like she's right back to where she started, if not even worse than before, in regards to her depression, making it seem like that trip was kind of all for nothing. And the other relationship/depression issues in play here also really haven't seemed to progress very much since the series began. Cadence and Flurry Heart still haven't seemed to make any progress in their relationship at all, unless you consider making things even worse to be progress. And Gal is also spinning her wheels, trying to find a way to encourage Twilight to remember who she used to be and what she's good at. Now, to be fair, I do understand that production issues with the series contributed to this pacing problem. After Twilight got back, there was a few months gap, and then we had a full-month episode dedicated to the backstory of the Nightmares and how they managed to corrupt Celestia, and then it was well over a year after that before this episode was released. Now, if you were to watch all those back-to-back, it'd probably feel like the story was moving a lot quicker than it has to be. You know, also, as far as in-universe, Twilight did have to see that her teacher and mentor, Celestia, has now gone full Nightmare, which had to be a serious mental blow to her on top of everything else that she's endured thus far. So it does kind of make sense that she backslid from the progress that she'd been making. The bottom line is I'm very anxious to see how this all plays out, and I'm struggling to see at this point how all the pieces are actually going to fit together, especially given that the series is so close to its end here. Pacing issues aside, though, there were some interesting developments in this episode. For one thing, Discord's character and relationship with Fluttershy were finally focused on and highlighted. And that's something that's kind of been passed over a little bit up until now in this series. And that honestly did hit me pretty hard, especially considering what we saw of their relationship at the end of the MLP series finale. Now, Discord has always been pretty good at hiding his true feelings and intentions behind his mischievous demeanor and actions, except maybe when it comes to his affection for Fluttershy. And we never really got to see him suffer any real pain or loss in the show, other than the few times where Fluttershy was in trouble and he was a bit peeved about that. So I understand this fan-based exploration of how his character might handle that type of loss. We finally also see Gal reaching a point where she's digging in her heels and starting to push back against all the doom and gloom and hopelessness that we're seeing here by refusing to let Flurry Heart run away again. More figuratively than literally, but I think you know what I mean. I give her major props for this, because they're in one of the most impossible situations conceivable. And she has no one or nothing to support her, really, except apparently the knowledge of what Twilight used to be like. With no magic, no obvious allies, and no real plan of any sort, she could just as easily have given up like all the rest of them, and I'd say she was honestly pretty close to doing so as well. But she at least has the advantage of youthful optimism on her side. She herself hasn't been burdened with the hundreds or thousands of years of pain and loss, and thus has a different perspective than all the other princesses do at this point. Now, for as long as the wallowing in self-pity has gone on for most of the characters in the show, I knew it was going to take something drastic to change things, and I figured it would most likely be Gal, at least heavily involved in that, but I am a little bit surprised it's taken this long for that process to actually kind of get going here. Fortunately, it finally has, with her hopefully now reaching a turning point with Flurry Heart. So now it's up to Flurry Heart to find a way to mend her relationship with her mom, and hopefully starting somewhat of a chain reaction there or something. Of course, there's still a lot of factors at play here. I'm not really sure what the other nightmares are going to be doing here in the near future, but at least at the moment, they've got most all the princesses right where they want them, so I fear this is still going to get worse before it gets better. I'm not even really sure how much worse it can get, but I get the feeling we're in for quite an exciting ride leading up to the finale here. Another big thing here is that we finally began directly addressing the curse of immortality in this world. This is something that was never really touched on in the main show, and honestly for good reason, as it's a really heavy subject and wasn't really directly relevant to the purpose of that show in the first place. Now, just for full disclosure, I've honestly never really believed that alicorns are truly immortal, at least in terms of the canon world. Even though obviously this series is heavily based on that idea, I do understand that. But for general canon, I'd say a long lifespan does not necessarily equal immortality, and there's content, namely the book known as the Journal of the Two Sisters, that states that alicorns have longer lifespans than other ponies. That same book also notes that Celestia and Luna receive power from their connections to the sun and moon, power that allowed them to restore the unicorn's lost magic. Based on that, I've long theorized that perhaps they have a sort of artificial immortality due to that power infusion, and will lose it and resume normal aging now that they've retired. Of course, that's just my headcanon, and yes, the canonicity of that book obviously is now in question due to the later season story developments in regards to the origins of the Tree of Harmony that seem to conflict with that journal. So I do concede that point, at least that I still think there's ways you can kind of make it work. I'm not going to spend time going into details on that right now. It's not really important. And it's, honestly, it's all kind of beside the point anyway, because regardless of whether it's true immortality that we're talking about, or just an extremely extended natural lifespan, the fact remains that these alicorns are long outliving other ponies. And as such, the amount of heartache that they have to deal with is immense, as they have to watch as so many of the ponies that they care about grow old and die while they live on. And that's what this series focuses heavily on. You know, it's so hard to talk about this because the added element of immortality makes for a situation that is pure science fiction with nothing in real life to actually relate to. Now, depending on your beliefs, a lot of people in the real world cope with loss of loved ones by looking forward to a time when they too will pass on to the afterlife and reunite with those that they lost. In this case, by being forced to live on for forever, alicorns do not have that option. When they lose someone, they're lost forever. And just to be clear, I am by no means even remotely resembling an expert on dealing with grief and loss here. So I honestly don't even feel qualified to be attempting to analyze the situation. But I can't help but feel like, you know, just for my own feelings here, I can't help but feel like the princesses are being a bit selfish by acting the way that they are. You know, even leaving aside their responsibilities to the ponies of Equestria, Cadence is selfishly keeping Flurry Heart locked away, supposedly trying to protect her from the same pain and misery that she's going through herself, but ultimately hurting Flurry Heart by not letting her live a full life of her own. And Twilight is just focused on her own self-pity and is completely neglecting her responsibilities, both her duty to her subjects and especially her student Gal. In terms of the 7 stages of grief, they both seem to be stuck in the guilt, anger, and depression stages, unable to move on to acceptance and hope for the future. You know, they're fixated on the pain that comes with loss of friends and loved ones, and have become convinced that the risk of more pain outweighs any good that could potentially come from love and friendship. You know, and also they are failing to honor the memory of those that they lost by acting this way as well. Kind of another way that they're being selfish here. I don't think either any of Twilight's friends or Shining Armor would want any of them to be stuck like this. Now, is it unfair that they are forced to live for all eternity and watch loved ones disappear for forever, and to be responsible for all the ponies working so hard to keep them safe and preserve their way of life without seemingly any thanks from the universe, if you will? Yeah, I would say that's probably a little bit unfair, to be perfectly honest. But, you know what? Life is not fair. Again, this is kind of a unique situation, but I still have to say, life is not fair. Everyone in this world, in the real world, and I mean everyone, at some point or another, including myself, gets dealt hardships in life that seem to be completely unfair, things that we suffer from and arguably did not deserve. But just because you've been dealt some really nasty curveballs doesn't make it right to just shut down and either directly hurt or allow harm to come to those around you. You know, so again, the situation is really impossible to truly relate to because of this extended lifespan is just completely unnatural. But regardless of how one lives, there is still a grieving process to deal with personal loss. Regardless of how long one lives, there is still a grieving process to dealing with personal loss. And neither Twilight nor Cadence is successfully getting through that, despite the losses happening a long time ago. And just to offer a possible reason for this, I think maybe it's a case where, you know, the princesses kind of have their own little club here where, you know, because they're in a position of leadership, position of royalty, they have to keep like a professional distance from their subjects, and they're all kind of dealing with the same kinds of problems and issues, so they're not really allowing any outside help to help them cope and get through this somehow. So it's kind of like a little echo chamber that they've created for themselves there. So you know, how do we get out of this? I'm not really sure. Like I said, I think Gal is going to have a lot to do with this. All I know for sure is that something has to give, and very soon. And now, of course, we do have knowledge that there is a spell that allows an alicorn to terminate their immortality. As I've said repeatedly now, immortality is a curse. So, quite frankly, I'm all for having a way out of that. What I am not okay with is having Twilight or Cadence bail out while leaving the world in shambles, which it kind of is at the moment, or will be soon, if these nightmares get their way. You know, like it or not, they are still the rulers of the land, and they have the responsibility of protecting everyone in that land. And they need to have suitable successors properly trained to continue the good fight once they are gone. And to me, it seems pretty obvious of who those successors are going to be. Flurry Heart, of course, would succeed Cadence, and Gal would succeed Twilight. And I think I mentioned earlier that I kind of suspect that Gal might get ascended to Alicorn before this is all done and over with. I'm honestly not sure that's really necessary, and now after thinking about this for a while, I'm not even sure that would really even be a good idea. But at the very least, it should not be forced upon her. Rather, it should be a conscious choice on her part to accept that burden, unlike Twilight and presumably Cadence as well, who both basically fell into it without any warning of the consequences. I believe that both of them have, Gal and Flurry have shown that they are willing and ready to grow into the leadership roles that they seem to be destined for, but they need their mentors of Twilight and Cadence to help train and support them. And for crying out loud, Flurry Heart needs her real loving mom back too. And, just to address one other thing here, I'm still rather conflicted over the other aspect of the spell, or more the primary one. Namely that it will bring back the loved ones that you lost, allowing you to live out one last lifetime with them before passing on. Now, I certainly cannot fault Twilight for wanting to get a chance to live out a quote-unquote normal life with her friends, but at the same time, I don't know that it's right for her to bring her friends back to life like that. Keep in mind that her friends all had their own families and other friends besides Twilight, and now they would be brought back to a world that is almost completely foreign to them, because like everyone that they ever knew or loved or cared about besides Twilight, basically, and the princesses are gone. Regardless how Twilight may have been cheated, I just don't know that it's fair to put the rest of the main six through that kind of trauma. I'm not sure if this is something that is actually going to be addressed in this series or not, but if it is, I just hope it'll be resolved in a way that makes sense. The only way I can see that as being acceptable is if the amount of time that they're brought back for is actually a very short period of time, and not going to be something where they have to spend, weeks, months, years, living out literally another entire lifetime. So, what's going to happen there? I have no idea what Ashley's got in mind for this. Just have to see how this plays out. And like I said, again, I'm no expert in any of this. I'm just offering my own observations. I kind of feel like there's honestly no good answers or quick solutions for a lot of the problems being presented here. I can only hope that, however the story goes, that everything will work out for the best in the end. And, might be some bittersweet endings. Just have to wait and see. But, just hope we get there soon. So, that's all I got on this one. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. And I will see you again hopefully soon for the final episodes of Remembrance. Later.